Hi, welcome to my video. I'm Jennifer Roberts. You're catching me on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44. You can get me on my Bitchute channel, True Divine 44, and it is the True Divine for both Instagram and Twitter. If you want to catch me on Facebook, like my business page, then by all means go ahead and message me or like me at True Divine 44 on Facebook. So this is part of the free content that I put out on a daily basis to help support, guide and inspire those who want to be. Take what is resonating with you because it is general. Leave what does not. Please leave a comment as to what does resonate with you and how you're going about your journey. If you feel happy to do so, it's always great to see and read people's comments and also allow others to see your comments, because it makes a lot of people realize predominantly that they're not alone in the energies that they are experiencing from one day to another. So this is for the 27th of November 2020. Okay. So we've got the King of Coins on the bottom of one deck, and then we have the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the other deck. And so we have a man of strategy, a man of business, a man that knows how to delegate and discern very, very well, knows how to use his skill sets, it's the energy of, but the skill sets of himself and or others, knows how to harness the best out of others. And so this is he also knows how to be discerning enough to know that what is going to be taking him off his path, what is going to be taking him off his kilter. He knows how to enjoy his reality and how to embrace the reality that he is in, to harness an even better reality. He knows how to create a better reality from whatever present moment he finds himself in. So I think this is an important energy to harness right now, in that this is where we do take divinity and authority as an energy of a king over our own reality, rather than expecting others to have our best interests at heart, especially those from the powers that be, and also within our individual lives, to take authority over our own selves and the reality that we want to experience or create is super important right now, imperative right now. Now, with this Queen of Wands, it speaks to maybe two energies in your life combining, you being one of them, depending on which one you resonate with. This is another energy where it is a divine feminine energy that is super creative, super sensual, but maybe a little bit shy. This is where this duo would be really beautiful in working together, in that the creativity and sensuality and beauty that the Queen of Wands is and sees and experiences, harnessed by the King of Pentacles. He would know how to bring this out of her, know how to take her out of her shyness, to draw her out, to really fully express herself in this reality that we are in. And so the two together work really well together, because where this King of Pentacles might have a tendency to forget to see the beauty in creation, in the realm that we live upon, the simplest things like the sunflower that she's holding, this Queen of Wands would remind this King of Pentacles energy to embrace that and appreciate that, and of course would lift his frequency in doing so. And the King of Pentacles energy, embracing the creativity and seeing the true abilities of this Queen of Wands to create things of beauty, to experience things of beauty, draws her out of her somewhat detrimental shyness at times, and so allows her to experience herself more fully. Now, this again could be you in the entirety, that this is the almost conflicting but somewhat, if harnessed correctly, symbiotic energies within yourself as one whole person, in that you have the divine masculine side in the King of Pentacles, and you have the divine feminine side in the Queen of Wands. And so to allow yourself to be strategic about the reality that you live in, or want to live in, or want to create, to allow yourself to think in abundance and think along those lines. And wherever your shyness was holding you back, particularly in making products or showcasing your creativity into something that you make that you could ultimately sell to make a living out of, to allow the King of Pentacles to be stern enough in a very loving way with self to draw your creativity out, regardless of your shyness, to stop letting it put a limit on you. And so this would be a beautiful combination in any one person. So if this resonates with you, speak to yourself this way. Speak to your divine feminine from the aspect of your divine masculine side today, and vice versa. Speak to your divine masculine from the aspect of your divine feminine today, to draw out the strongest aspects of self in order to create something abundant, something beautiful, something that is lasting, something that really both feeds you, sustains you, and fires you up and excites you. This is a lovely balance today that we see here. And so that's lovely underpinning energy. Now, the first card in the row is the Wheel of Fortune. And so this being the ebb and flow of life. And to be honest, there is this no longer even TikTok. It's like, jump on this ride now. If you've been going along with a narrative from the powers that be or the people around you, just because that is what you're being told to do, that is how you're being told to think, that is how you're being influenced, then stop. You know, you need to jump on this ride now, or forever hold your peace. You know, maybe be on the other side watching, like a kid would if they've missed the turn on the ride and it's the last ride of the night. You know, the hop-ins, we call it, at the I don't know what, the fairground, that you would call it, is closing as soon as this one ride is finished. You know, as a child, you'll be watching it and thinking, damn it, I wish I'd pushed forward. I wish I'd run that bit faster towards this ride. I wish I'd just jumped on it, regardless of not knowing exactly how I was going to feel once I was on it, not knowing exactly how things were going to play out. I wish I'd just been engaged enough to get on it. As a kid, obviously, you'd just be standing there thinking, damn it. And so this is the time now that, you know, you need to speak to yourself in that King of Pentacles energy, in your divine masculine energy, and saying, come on, get on it, do it, take the steps that you know you need to take, that you're being driven to take the opportunities that you see, find the opportunities, find the land that you can grow something on that will sustain you, that will make you sovereign, that will make you divine in how you sustain yourself, how you create your reality. And in your divine feminine side, allowing that creativity to pour forward without being fearful of judgment of others, of what is on the other side of you, being open about who you are and what your real loves are, what your real capabilities are, what your real sensuality and beauty is. And so it is time to jump on this ride, or forever hold your peace, kind of thing. You know, you find that the separation of the lines that would be leading up to this fairground ride, to this merry-go-round, is vast, in that there are people watching as other people are riding the waves of success, and just accepting that. Now, on the collective stage, we see that, especially in the King of Pentacles energy, for better or worse, that these, Jeff Bezos is loving his time right now. This is brilliant for him right now. And as a collective, too many of us have just stood by and watched and closed down our businesses because we were told to do so. Who told them to do so? It's funny, isn't it, that there's so much information out there that it is the very likes of Jeff Bezos and the gates of hell, combination that have actually been telling basically the government what to do, owning so many shares in the who knows who. And it is that, it's who knows who is doing well right now. And so it's time to take that divinity and sovereignty back, just like they are being the King of Pentacles in their realm. It's for us to be the King of Pentacles in our realm and not wait in line and watch with lust and watch with sorrow that we didn't jump on the ride, but actually to say, okay, no, damn it. You guys are obviously quite willing and openly showing your hand that you are above government. So therefore, as a collective, we need to do that. We need to show that actually the government works for us, not the other way around. We are actually above government too. Open up your damn businesses. Jump on this ride. When other people are afraid to jump on the ride and open up their businesses, you're going to be making a heck of a lot of profit. And you're going to be on the right side of history in that, yes, they might come down hard on the first few that do this, but actually, when all's said and done, the truth will out. And if you've been one of the companies that is, as a boss, as a King of Pentacles, has stood forward, forgotten about your shyness, and put forward what you've created out of your divine feminine Queen of Wands to defend your staff's jobs, you will be looked upon and you will gain patronage because you'll be looked upon as a hero. You will be looked upon as somebody who is a king and a queen, sovereign and divine. And so on the right side of history. So we have the Fool card. And so you see in this card, this is so telling in this deck, the Fool card. You can see the Masonic game. All of the different symbols, the chessboard, the chessboard, flooring, the cards, the game right above there, all of the 4 elements. We see the ladders in this one, don't we? Yes, we do. We see all of it actually encompassed in this deck. The Masonic game. They are building out of chaos that they've created. And I'm not just saying just the Masons, I'm saying that, the systems, the powers that be, they're all amalgamated into one at this point. We need to be the Fool. And the Fool is actually no fool. It's just that he refuses. It's the energy of he refuses to be afraid of the experience. He refuses to be afraid of the ride. He refuses to be afraid of what might be detrimental along the way. He plays the game and he doesn't take the game too seriously. So actually, if people find it very hard to hurt the Fool energy too much, because if he's not taking the game seriously, then actually, and taking all experiences for all that they're worth, ride till he dies, riding for all his worth, then there's not too much more that you can do to the energy of the Fool. So to be like the Fool, to go ahead, to go running headlong just at the chance of getting on this ride, of being on the right side of the line that gets to experience this, even experiencing the light and the dark. You can see the dark sky on one side and the sun in the sky on the next side. you know, it's all of the four again, you know, the cardinal signs, the elements, experiencing everything within the experience for what could be deemed as good or bad. The Fool wants to experience it all. And so you're here right now. So ask yourself, how much more are you going to play this lifetime safe? How much more are you going to have such a seriousness towards this experience that you've forgotten that it is an experience, that it is somewhat of a game? How much more are you going to hold yourself back from the opportunities that the Wheel of Fortune is trying to present to you? Because, you know, opportunities, if as fools we don't embrace the energy of the Fool entirely, then there are powers around us that are willing to be sovereign on our behalf, that are willing to be the gatekeepers of the next experience, that are willing to be in control of the very limitations that we've set before ourselves anyway by not embracing the Fool energy in its entirety. So the more that we do not fully live in the energy of the Fool, the more that we do not fully experience the experiences that can be brought forth by the ebb and flow of the Wheel of Fortune, the more that there are others around us that are willing to come in and be the masters, that are willing to come in and be the gatekeepers, that are willing to come in and live on our behalf, and you know, have the ride of their life on our behalf. So to not give any of it away today, to jump on this Fool energy, to run and jump on this game, on this Wheel of Fortune, to be able to see that actually, if you're worried, if you're shy about what you want to create, now is the best time to go for it anyway. Because I mean, it's become normal for businesses to be failing. It's become normal in 2020 for marriages to be failing, relationships to be failing. You know, 2020 and the shit show that it's been made out to be has actually opened up opportunities to actually go ahead for your biggest of big dreams, and go fully into them, headlong into them as fast as you can, because if you fail, nobody's going to notice. So if that makes you feel any better about just going for it, living, risking it, then please harness that way of thinking today. Please do so, because it's true, you know. And actually, I don't feel for 1 minute, if you go in with this embracing this Fool energy and go into it with the gusto that the Fool goes into experiences with, I don't think you'll fail anyway. I'm just saying, if it makes you feel better that you've been holding yourself off, what for? Because you might fail in front of others, or the judgment of others. Well, that's all gone. That's one gift that 2020 has opened up for us, that is given to us, that actually it's pretty much the norm. So, you know, you're not going to be noticed if it happens, which it won't. Hey, baby, you Spider-Man again.
Yeah, I take off my
Yeah.
on.
So we have the 10
forgot
of
I had
swords.
them on.
Yeah, we have the 10 of swords in the next card. So this being said, that, you know, you go headlong into this ride, into this Wheel of Fortune. Nothing's going to stop this wheel from turning. So you may as well jump on the ride and experience it with the gusto of the Fool card, you know, to fully embrace the experience while you are on it. It brings about an ending of a cycle. It brings about a finality to a very hard, harsh cycle. And so you being brave enough to embrace these energies brings this about to the point where you can release this, you can release yourself from this. Go and ask Abby, sweet pea.
Why is there so many flies in here?
Abby knows, I'm not sure. as to why. And so you can release yourself from what is a very harsh cycle, what has been a very harsh cycle, but you're releasing yourself from this cycle with lessons learned. You're releasing yourself as the Fool loves to do, attaining new knowledge, attaining new experience, attaining new gifts because of the experience, both good and bad. Now, with that being said, the Five of Swords is here to clarify this Ten of Swords. And so that speaks of, again, you go running headlong into the experience and manifesting in what you want to manifest rather than the narrators that have self-appointed themselves the narrators of 2020. They're going to try and pull you back into conflict. They're going to try and pull you back into things where there are no real winners. It's just meaningless energy spent. That can cause hardship, that can cause heartache, nastiness. But again, no real winners. People don't like it when you rise above from where they're not willing to go to. So they'll try and pull you back in. Also, the powers that be certainly don't like you to rise into your own divinity and sovereignty. They will try and pull you back in. And we might see this today by people who actually do stand up to them and do open up their businesses, or we might see, it being very heavily publicized, a business here or there getting fined, where again, there are no real winners, because then that frightens off people from opening up their businesses, because they're not acting in divinity and sovereignty, but they've got the ability to be afraid through mainstream media. And also, there's no real winners, because again, on the other side, it inspires others to do the same thing and think, well, stuff it, I'm going to give it a go, because if we don't do it now, then when do we do it? And so we find that in relationships also, in that when you have let go of something that in the past has limited you, particularly in relationship, and you go headlong into the next experience, and your frequency starts rising, and those people around you start seeing you having fun, and those people from your past start seeing that you no longer have that hold over you with this Ten of Swords, that mentally you are strong again. They'll try and pull you again into a meaningless fight, because it makes them feel secure to know that if they were to come and call on you again, they like you in the Five of Swords. They like you in that confused state. And so we see that a lot today. So be aware of that and continue to raise above it. Do not give it thought. Do not give it air. Certainly do not speak to these people and create a new contract with them verbally, that you have given them space in your mind again, space in your reality, because what you speak out, what you think out, you create, So also this speaks to being discerning about how we bring this ridiculousness to an end, how we actually bring about the end of this archonic control over the collective. And protests I've just been feeling, are not the way to go right now. We're too far down the line for that. It's almost as if this meets the needs of we can't ascend by keeping one foot in the grave. We can't ascend by and move on from the past, and release ourselves from heavy, burdensome cycles if we are maintaining ourselves in that cycle. We need to live by it and act by it. We need to live as we mean to go on. We need to open up businesses, be with family and friends, speak freely, again and again and again, till this cycle is released, till we manifest into the collective enough that we've had enough and we want to forget about that now. We're not being fooled by all the isms, the racisms, all of the divisionist things, that they have. the sexisms, the feminisms, the all of those things, if we continue to be pulled back into them by whatever psyops is thrown out there, then we are actively re-entering into yet another contract, yet another cycle of them. And that's not where we need to be right now. We need to be just living by example right now as individuals. And so protests, I think, for me, have been coming up in my consciousness a lot, especially over the last few weeks, but especially over the last few days, in that this is a strategy that is not going to work now. This actually works to counteract a good movement, to counteract a raising of the frequency of the collective, to keep us in a space of this, a show of force by people singing on the street together, people, making sure that they make big parks, full of children playing the normal happy sounds, rather than regurgitating the same points of division and rights not being heard. And because by just doing that, then we are accepting that those rights have already been gone, they've already been taken. We just need to take them back. I hope that makes sense, by living them, by doing them, by being in them. So we've got the Fool card again at the end of the reading here. And so again, this speaks to that we are going into a new cycle. We get to begin again. The Fool card is intrepid. The Fool does not carry the baggage of old cycles. It has the energy of lessons learned. Yes, to me, it's always stitches in the garments that he wears. But at the same time, he does not carry over, so a bit like this generational trauma, a bit like this theory of oppression, this theory of inequality and division. The Fool card being emphasized at both ends of the reading here for me is very potent, in that it's time to release, truly release ourselves from relationships that do not work, release ourselves from old ways of thinking that cause division and separation, release ourselves from this archonic energy, release ourselves from being under the authority of goons, to release ourselves from all of the things that have been passed down from generation to generation that seek to take our powers away, and truly begin again, truly rebuild again in a totally different way. The Fool doesn't cling on to anything. The Fool always moves forward. To actually truly move forward and be light. The Fool always travels light. It doesn't carry baggage of any kind, whether that is mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically. There's a lightness to the Fool, which is why it's such a high frequency card. And there's a wisdom in that too. We can be all intellectual and have all of these historical dates and names of where we've been wronged, what reparations we need, and the Fool's wisdom is beyond that, way beyond that, to know that none of that matters. It would just seek to be destroyed by the same thing that destroyed generations past. So to be light today, to not carry the baggage of anything, whatever is making you feel heavy today, whatever is making you feel oppressed today, let it go, release it, so that you can truly float forwards, not just move forwards, float forwards and experience things fully. So we have the King of Cups to clarify the Fool card here as the last card. So this speaks of, again, taking our authority over our emotions. The King of Cups is so compassionate, so loving, but so emotionally intellectual and so emotionally balanced that just everything that I was discussing there regarding this second Fool card, in that it doesn't get triggered into reactions, doesn't get triggered and channeled into emotional overreactions. In its balanced state, it's an energy that can just truly appreciate and experience the present, to not be imbalanced in any way. So the combination of these two going forward, channeling our emotions rather than others channeling them or them channeling us, is super important right now. And to be light about it, to really find that love frequency today, to really find what that love frequency means. Don't degrade the word love and love frequency by belittling it enough to feel that it's represented in the wrong relationships, to feel that it's represented in fighting, in division, in supremacy. No, that degrades love. Love is such a high frequency. And I feel that it just keeps leveling up. You think you found love, you go forward even more in the energy of the Fool card, and then all of a sudden you find another level of love and the depth of it and the breadth of it. And you think, wow, I thought I loved before. And that to me just shows this magical, ever unfolding experience that we have the opportunity to have here and have the opportunity to experience thereafter. But right now, in the present, we have the opportunity to express love through physical touch, to be able to feel somebody else's hand in ours, to be able to feel someone else's lips on ours. We have the beauty and the gift right now, and there's probably, I know there's even greater levels of it, but right now we have the greatest level of love in that we can put our sight on something and see the beauty in it and see the magic in it. We can look at our children and see every detail on their face, every little fluffy hair on their face. And so that's the kind of thing that we need to dig into today. While people are trying to distract us and have us in endless conflict, in endless cycles of fighting, this is where we need to be. We need to be jumping on that ride with the energy of the Fool card, and then fully loving and fully appreciating the experience of it with this Fool card and this King of Cups. It's deep. It's deep. And it's beautiful. It's sensual with this Queen of Wands here, and it on the bottom of the deck, and on the other bottom of the deck it's physical with this King of Pentacles. And the gift of those two with these two Fool cards is powerful if you choose to hook into it. So you all have a high frequency day. Be the Fool. Go towards what you love. Stay balanced and stay whole. Do not be embroiled in needless energy of conflict. Jump on your ride and, ride it for all it's worth. Ride this experience for all it's worth. Make the changes that you want to see. What does Rex say? What's the words? Be the change you want. Be the change you want to see, I think he says. But I appreciate that saying. That's so true, and so true today. So If you'd like a personal reading with me, you can hook up with me at truedivinemedia@gmail.com, or you can get me on Facebook, like I said at the start of this video, at truedivine44. Just message me privately there for any personal readings, any spiritual guidance sessions, or any energy work sessions. Stay balanced, stay at the highest frequency today, love like you've never loved before, and stay whole. Mwah.